This is AC35 Daily Update. With a 5-2, Burling gets the pass to the final, while Ainsley buys the ticket for home. Top day with 3 wins for Outridge, resetting the score to 4-3 on Barker. From Bermuda, here's the Nautical Channel Sports correspondent Nick Douglas with the Thursday's racing report at the 35th America's Cup playoffs.
Hi Nautical Channel Sports fans, this is Nick Douglas, the Sailor Girl in Bermuda after another eventful day at the Louis Vuitton America's Cup Challenger Playoff semi-finals. Emirates Team New Zealand were up against Land Rover BAR to start off with, and they came home strongly, looking like they had not even had any damage just a few days ago following their capsize. In the second race between Land Rover BAR and Emirates Team New Zealand, Ben Ainsley managed to hold his lead for most of the race. He even lost the lead at one point up the work, but got it back to come home strongly and take a legitimate win, given that the only win he had gotten on the board so far was from a black flag against the New Zealanders following their capsize. In the third race of the day, it was do or die for GBR for their campaign to bring the cup home. It wasn't to be. Emirates Team New Zealand led from start to finish and won by some margin to solidify their place in the Louis Vuitton America's Cup Challenger Playoff Final.
Incredibly proud of the effort the short crew's put in over the last couple of days. We're trying to take it pretty easy in those first couple of races, but then finally had it fully wound up in that last one. And to go out that way, really good start, really good race. Definitely gives us a lot of confidence going to the next round.
You're a wanted man today because we have to say goodbye to you, which is a bit sad.
Absolutely.
What is the biggest thing that you as a team are going to take away from the 35th America's Cup?
Well, we have huge lessons learned from being a first-time team in the America's Cup. I can be proud of the team today, where we've come from, our performance improvement through this campaign. We now know a lot of lessons, not just one, but many lessons, how we can be stronger, but we will be stronger, and we have the commitment from our investors, our shareholders, our sponsors to keep continuing supporting the team, and that puts us in a very strong position for the future. From what we've learned now, the group that we have, what we've created so far, we're going to be a real force to be reckoned with in this next America's Cup.
Yeah, which is just incredible. And how much has your life changed over the journey of this Cup too? You now have a little girl that you can take through the next journey with you too, which is just beautiful.
Yeah, I'm very proud dad and husband. Having a family has made this job a whole lot easier for me to share a lot of those stresses and burdens. And huge thank you to Georgie, my wife, and Bellatrix, little girl. They've been amazing support through all of this.
Now, while we saw Groupama Team France out training today, and they will continue to train with Oracle Team USA during the Defender training spots, Land Rover BAR will be packing up their operation in the coming weeks and taking their boats back to their base in Portsmouth. In the other match between Artemis Racing and SoftBank Team Japan, Artemis Racing had to win to give themselves a chance to come back at SoftBank Team Japan. Artemis Racing came out with all guns blazing and did not let Dean Barker have an inch, looking very similar to the races between SoftBank Team Japan and Artemis Racing in the Louis Vuitton America's Cup qualifying series. In the second race of the day, Artemis Racing did much the same, making the scores come to a level playing field of 3 wins each. Coming into the final race of the day, Artemis Racing fans couldn't believe their eyes when the Swedes managed to peg back SoftBank Team Japan's lead with a dial down just before the final top mark, and then a top mark rounding where a penalty was awarded to SoftBank Team Japan for not allowing the Swedes to have enough room to round. Just amazing, and Artemis Racing definitely sailed their socks off I spoke to Nathan Outeridge after racing to talk through some of the trickier manoeuvres and especially about the improvements that Artemis Racing have made since the start, where it seemed certain they would go down to SoftBank Team Japan.
That's more like it.
Yeah, still catching my breath a little bit.
It was actually hilarious because they had the heart monitors on you today and you had the highest heart rate out of any of the skippers.
Yeah, well, we had a bet on at times, so clearly I'm not as fit as the other skippers.
From the first race where you forced SoftBank Team Japan to follow you around, that was beautiful. Some good manoeuvres today.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been working hard on improving the confidence in the boat. You know, the last time we were out, we just, you know, the boat just wasn't feeling right. The whole design engineering team really got to the bottom of what was the issue. And, you know, we spent a lot of time with them just sort of looking at all the data from that day. Normally, you finish a day, a session, a training session, and you have a few things you'd like to tweak or change. And I asked all the guys, and not a single person had a single complaint. That gives you a lot of confidence going into a race day. And, you know, when you have confidence in your machine, it allows you to sail it in a way that we did today, which was amazing. We got two very strong teams. Like, you can't underestimate Dean and his team. They sailed really well. You know, obviously we got two good starts off him today, and the lead probably didn't grow or shrink the whole way around. And we definitely made sure we didn't give him a single opportunity.
Artemis Racing have given themselves another chance tomorrow. Will SoftBank Team Japan be able to come back and level the score to 4-all and force the semi-finals on to a 9th match? We'll just have to wait and see. So while the Kiwis have a day off, Artemis Racing and SoftBank Team Japan will be back out there to battle for the remaining spot in the Louis Vuitton America's Cup Challenger playoff final against Emirates Team New Zealand. This 35th America's Cup is definitely shaping up to be one that not only entertains but provides you with your cardio at the same time. This is Nick Douglas, the Sailor Girl, in Bermuda, bringing you all of your updates right here on the Nautical Channel. And we'll be back tomorrow just to keep you on the edge of your seats.
Get the full story from Bermuda. Stay tuned for the next edition of AC35 Daily Update with Sailor Girl adventurer Nick Douglas at the 35th America's Cup. NC Sports, plunge into the action.